As I was explaining, the last 24 hours, if it interrupts one more time, I'll end the feed and I will restart another time. Yeah. I had a fever 24 hours ago, and I hope I have actually broken through, because if it hasn't broken through yet, oh Lord have mercy. Hi Prosper. Hi everyone. Yeah. So it's been a week and a day since I had surgery. The surgery went well. What isn't going well is the recovery from the wound. That is not going well. That's going disastrously. In fact, I have picked up an infection from the wound, and it is the infection cycle that I am still going through. The fever hit yesterday, and now actually I can see that I'm not as cool as I was a few hours ago. The fever hit yesterday, and the vomiting hit this morning. I think the vomiting is the worst type, because the wound rips open when your stomach retches. And yeah, I hadn't eaten enough for anything of substance to come up. It was pure bile that came out. So yeah, I'm a bit tired. But sitting here and not talking to anybody is not good for my brain. So here I am calling you guys so we can talk. And I have something I'm very passionate about to talk to you about. I've been telling you guys, especially the Ghanaians, the evil that men do lives long after them. A lot of men think they are smart. And whilst you are here, especially the ones who are affluent, they have money. And because they have money and they have influence, people will bend to your will whilst you are here. Why? Because they are often after a bit of your money, a bit after your influence. Yeah, Gina. When I brought it up, a friend of mine is like, is it possible for a prominent Ghanaian man to die and for there not to be a fallout? It doesn't sound like it at the moment. Why? Because prominent Ghanaian men have a lot of things in common. A lot of them, like women grabbing. Daddy Lymba and Apostle Sarfo, they are not too different. The issues are from the different factions of women that you create. So the Apostle Sarfo one is a surprise. Oh, thank you, Nanaya. Thank you so, so much. The Apostle Sarfo one is a surprise for some people. And they were also united when he lived. United, K. Who fools who with all this unity? Once you create the factions exist. They might not come to war yet, but they exist. So those of you who don't know Apostle Sarfo, Apostle Sarfo was one of our industrialists. The Kantanka group of companies was his. He is also a church leader and quite a lot of things, but the industrialist is what most of you will probably know. He manufactured cars in Ghana. Cars that spoke our local language, So he's a very special guy. When he existed, and he's been very smart, he has educated all his kids from all the factions, it seems. He has a daughter who is, thank you. Yeah. Tenuvi, thank you so much. I am getting there. I am recovering. Ooh. Even 5 hours ago, I would not have been able to talk to you guys the way I am right now. I was wretched. He has a son who is an engineer that he brought on as his next of kin, made him his CEO whilst he lived. But he also has a daughter who is very prominent, who is a former MP, very well known. That is what, Mami Jesua, that is what makes this even more interesting, because all the factions are learned. All the factions are knowledgeable. Ah, Pam. Oh, okay. Hi, Pam. You're right, sis. It's good to see you. Yeah. You know, all the factions are educated. All the factions have got resources. They've got access to information, and it becomes very interesting. I think, was it yesterday or the day before, somebody sent a communique to me and says, Amma, look, this thing you always say, I was just waiting for it to kick. And I'm like, it's not me who predicts doom. It is people and the way they live that brings this on. Bell, Ghanaian men, the minute they make money, will want to find different women for whatever reason. They will like to have children from all these factions and gather them around themselves and fool themselves to think that they have created a system of unity. You have created nothing. People who come from different places will always stand differently. There is no running away from it. Children born of different mothers would always be different factions, even if the mothers were not married, even if only one of the mothers was a wife, even if I've seen many things. Men who did not marry the women who married one woman but had children before they married her, the funeral was the same. The family members will always infiltrate where there are gaps. And where the children come from different places and stand on different ideologies, there are gaps. So the communique was the Kantanka family, the Sarfo family, saying that one particular son who used to be the CEO, I don't think the public knew he was an ex-CEO. We just found out now that he is an ex-CEO. And the family says if you transact any business with him, you do so at your own risk. And that they will communicate official channels for dealing with. And I'm like, back a day, it has already started. It is inevitable, you know. It is inevitable. You can lie to yourself all you want. You can manipulate it all you want. But what will be shall be. If you sow some seeds, they will bear fruit. You cannot plant orange and expect to harvest apple. It doesn't work. You can pray, you can scream, you can threaten, whatever, but it will always rear its head in your absence. Like I said, there are some of these men, when they are alive, they put controls in so that the children are not able to express themselves. Some of these men have the children pretend that they are unified and they keep a tight rein. The minute the guy dies, that was the glue that holds it all together. The minute the guy dies, and usually even before the guy dies, many times we have seen Alhaji Asumabanda was one of them. Again, the Alhaji was a very prominent businessman in Ghana. And at some point when he was ill, his business was all over the place. The two wives were in court before he died. Everybody is interested in assets. Yes, everybody wants assets. We do. That's what humans want. And when everybody feels entitled to assets, they want to come in for their pound of flesh. Well, when all these factions exist and everybody is here for their pound of flesh, well, it would only create discord, my dear. Only discord will result from it. The best position, is the solution. The best position is not to create the factions. But no, none of you would hear me, would you? No. We are polygamous by nature. Okay, go right ahead. Go right ahead. Have skirt and blouse children wherever you want. Have them. Think that some of these women do not fancy themselves getting their pound of flesh Fool yourself if you want. Feel free to fool yourself. Me, I can't help you with that one. But when the time comes, ye shall know. Daddy Lymba is the other person I cited because those are the two big ones who are still ongoing. Daddy Lymba was one of our most illustrious musicians. Daddy Lymba had a wife in Germany and children. He abandoned home in Germany and went back to Ghana and found another woman, had 5 children by her. 5 children by this new woman. And stayed with this new woman, not even as a wife. Who even knows what she was? Obviously, for a woman to stay with you for so long and to have children with you, she wants her entitlement. And I see all these this people, and I laugh. If Daddy Lymba really wanted to do right by this young girl's family, what he should have done was just to acknowledge the children and get them their German passports, because he has German citizenship and he could have given the children German passports. Why couldn't he do that? Because he's actually still married in Germany. He's married in Germany. He's still married in Germany. And I don't struggle to believe that his citizenship in Germany is actually linked to his marriage to this lady. I don't struggle to believe that at all. Those who come from the wife's camp says that the wife was responsible for a lot of the financial backings, because usually when you have a creative like that, they don't work. And I know it looks glamorous, but it doesn't really return much, you know. The music, it does not return much. They get hits, they get famous. Ask many people, I can tell you. When I encounter new people and they see this page, everybody's like, oh my God, nearly 300,000. You must be rich. No, I'm not. It must be bringing this. It must be bringing that. No, it's not bringing this and that. No, it's not. Your projection is always more optimistic than it really is. I have a family member who is a musician. My family member who is a musician was a deadbeat. But he was a deadbeat. You hear me? Deadbeat. It was his wife who was holding everything up. Yeah, it's his wife who worked. Yeah. They are going for a show here. They are going for this year. They have headphones over their head most of the time. Headphones don't pay bills, you know. No, headphones don't feed children. No, because the shows are not even predictable. And the income from the shows, listen, Faye. So, knowing the little bit I know, knowing how big this guy was and how huge his name is, I know a lot of you project and assume that he made a lot of money. He may not have. He may not have. He may not have made so much. But even if he did make, somebody has to hold forth for you to be able to go and do you. Yeah. Somebody has to hold. Somebody has to pay the bills. Somebody has to anchor the children so that you can go and become the star that you do. But the typical Ghanaian man thing to do, the minute he gets a leg to stand on, he wants to flex and exercise his masculinity. And the only way my guys seem to know how to exercise their masculinity is linked with their gonads. They must shake their gonads. Their member must be under every skirt they can find. They must find a new girl. And usually the new girls they will find are unaccomplished girls. Girls who have nothing. Little gold diggers who want to harvest where they haven't sown. Yeah, this is typical. I mean, go back to the Daddy Lymba situation. The new girl is a gold digger. I know those of you in her camp will not like it, but a spade is a spade. It's not a big spoon, you know. That new girl is a gold digger who came in wanting to harvest from his name, thinking that Lymba, being a successful musician, would be able to do this, do that. I'm sure he would have told her that he's a German citizen, and she would fancy her ability to wing and to get German citizenship for her children, and give her, if he doesn't even do that, he might give them some property. I hear she had made herself the business, whatever. Oh, Nanaya, I will go and try it. At the moment, my body can do with all the help it can find. My body is not bodying. It is struggling under the strain of whatever infection I had. I mean, I feel better now. I'm talking to you because I have vomited everything that was in my gut. Yeah, Sister Catherine, I am getting there, but I have been set back a little bit with an infection. Yeah, these new girls, when these men feel accomplished and they are looking for new women, they don't like the notion of the old woman who knows their truth. They cannot flex to these old women because she's the one who's fed you for 25 years. She's had clothes on your back, a roof over your head. That is your mama. And so when they are made and they want to flex their muscles, they need to go and find some helpless new damsel, a little gold digger somewhere, a little gold digger who doesn't understand the realities of life. We see a musician and we see a ticket to heaven. My understanding is that this new girl was managing his radio station, had got her mittens on all his assets at that time, and so on. And the minute he dies, the factions will reveal themselves. Why would the factions reveal themselves? The wife has a lot of investments to protect. She does. She has a lot of claim to whatever this guy has. She will be sitting there thinking, well, I'm trying to protect him. I'm trying to protect his name. But the minute he's gone, there is no him. There is no name to protect. And the minute he's gone, that is when the family members will let you know that you being the wife means nothing to them. My friend's husband died not too long ago. And she's like, I am so shocked. I'm his sisters. And I'm like, darling, what did you call them? His sisters. They are his sisters, not yours. I lived with these girls. I raised these girls. I paid for their fees. I fed them. They don't care. They don't care. These tiny little sisters of her husband are here to come and grab what they can grab. And they have ground hot pepper for her nyash. They are busy showing. Yeah. When they fall, that's when the siblings will come to roost where there are siblings. And the uncles and Ebusiapenyin, they will be here. The funeral committees, they will be formed. I did not know any of this until my dad passed. When my dad was alive, I thought my dad was ours. Bah. My dad was not ours. No. When my dad needed anything, it was up to us to provide. And for that reason, I thought that my siblings and I were responsible for our dad, and so his affairs were for us to determine. No. When my dad passed, each one of us was a very good standing. We could take care of issues. Yeah, the family made us aware that we were responsible for this and for that and for that. Yeah, but whilst we were responsible for the payments, we were not responsible for the decision making. I discovered that my dad belonged to his family. It's when a man passes that you would know how loud the family voices can be. And so when these men are alive, they are not aware. Most of these Ghanaian men are not aware of this situation. I'm very sure if they are able to see what happens after their demise, they would see that they had been blindsided for a long time. Most of these people, whilst they are here, the family members, out of respect, will not exhibit themselves fully. The children, out of respect, will also not exert themselves fully. All the factions will play fair and nice whilst you are here. The day you are dead, your body will still be warm, whilst each of these will begin to exert themselves and to show the powers that they have. And it's the men's fault. I'm sorry. I lay the blame with the men 100%. You have to put your house in order, because if your house is not in order when you die, well, disorder is what we will see. Listening to the Apostle Kojo Sarfo tells me that he had put a lot of effort in to try and put his house in order. But the cracks will show. The cracks will always show. They will expose you. So he didn't want any drama. He already told them that he wanted a particular person from the church to take over the church for 3 months when he passes. I think that's very organized. So at least the church and its running would be controlled by this person. That one of his sons will be selected to take over as the leader of the church. Now that's where, that's the end of your your romanticizations. You have put 3 of your sons in contention to be your successor. And you haven't figured out that you have started a contest. You have started a contest. The sons, depending on how much they want this, will exert themselves in ways that if he was here, he would cry over. But yeah, it sounds to me, in fairness to him, that he has actually thought about his own, unlike many others. And he had attempted to put structures in place, but you know, attempting to put structures in place doesn't mean structures are in place. He's tried his very best to make sure that he did not leave a complete void. How annoying. You guys will have to bear with me. My thing wasn't charging. And now I decided. Getty, you know I love you to the moon and back. Yeah. The apostle has had time. Yo, I want to sneeze. There are 3 things I cannot do: sneeze, cough, and laugh. As of yesterday, actually, now there's 4. Vomit is the 4th one I've discovered. Anything that makes your abdominals move. Yeah. Okay, I've managed to distract myself from this sneeze. As I was explaining, Apostle Sarfo has done a lot. It sounds to me, from listening to the Zara man's interview, to put a lot of structures in place to try and limit the confusion that could come after his demise. But already we can see that his efforts have not succeeded 100%. It sounds to me that the family has decided that one of his sons is not the person for people to deal with. And they have issued a warning to the general public that you transact business with this man at your own risk. What would make a family make such a move is because that there is divisive elements. There's division. There is no unity. There is suspicion. At this point, everybody's beginning to think what they could get as an inheritance. Sister Mary, hello. Everybody is beginning to think what they stand to get as an inheritance. It's ridiculous, but that's what happens. None of his children really should need an inheritance. I think he's positioned all his children quite well. Maybe this one who is now getting ostracized is one, I think he's a pilot, but he was brought back from piloting to come and be his CEO. So I don't know whether his piloting career is redeemable and recoverable, but yeah, CEOing is what he has done. But the family has literally said he's not CEO. Yeah. At this point, you'll find all the uncles and the family leaders will begin to position themselves behind the children that they feel they can manipulate. Yeah. They will all start looking for favorites. Yeah. Hey, Nanaya. The best thing to do is not to do any of those things. Hey. Yeah, Maliha. How you doing? Baby Daily. The family will begin to position, even if the children are not ready to fight. Your family members will make them fight. Oh, family members will make them fight. They will plant discord. My siblings and I, we are very cool. But I saw some family members play certain games, make some tactics and maneuvers, and I was like, damn, your witchcraft is incredible. Your witchcraft is incredible. Yeah. The extended family will start positioning themselves and they'll start telling people stories. You are the eldest son, you should inherit. You are the this, you should do. You are the favorite, you should do. So now there are two significant characters that are coming up in the Apostle Sarfo story, and they are not from the same mother. Ajwa Sarfo, the MP, and he has a funny name, Akofena. Ajwa Sarfo and Akofena are all characters who have been very well positioned by this man. But in this funny episode, Ajwa Sarfo and Akofena will suddenly discover that they are not of the same creed. Their mothers, if they exist, will suddenly start talking to their children about what they ought to do. The uncles will start talking to these children about what they ought to do and what they shouldn't let the other one do. And already there is a contest for who is going to be the leader of the church. Oh, Lord Almighty. Do you hear the confusion in this very simple rendition I've given you? The confusion. By the time they are done with this funeral, everybody's heart will be broken. There will be discord amongst the siblings for the next decade. It takes about a decade approximately for everybody to forgive and to move on. And there are some of them who move on by ending direct combat, but not necessarily. Yeah, they are from different mothers, apparently. I know, yeah. They are from different mothers. When I heard they are from different mothers, the communique that came out and says, don't deal with Akofena, suddenly made sense. Yeah, they are from different mothers. Each mother is looking at what they can take to their lineage. The evil that men do lives long after them. Put your house in order. Put your house in order is not about mechanizations. We have already seen from the Apostle Sarfo 1, he has tried all sorts of mechanizations, but they are going to fail miserably because the fundamentals are shaky. The fundamentals are shaky because the children come from different lines. Yeah. That is the fundamental basis for discord. Even the children of one mother can have differences when their father passes. But that's different from when the children come from different places. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Nanaya. Every nice woman you want to have children with them. Okay, oh. And then we will continue to do polygamy. You. I don't know. Sometimes when I get these things in my inbox, I laugh. I'm like, if you will continue to do polygamy, why do you think it will bother me? One, I am not one of the women you'll be doing polygamy with. Even my husband, if he chooses polygamy, is going to be his new thing. It won't be a problem for me. No. He can go and do his polygamy with the other people who want to do with him. Me, I don't want any polygamy. Me, I don't want any discord. And especially, a man of God, you are confused. Nana, you in Ghana, are men of God, are men first before any God happens afterwards. You didn't know. Hey, Fifi Benji, it's been a long time. It's good to see you. They are men before anything else, Nanaya. Yeah, so I don't even know how the whole thing happened. Whether he married one and divorced before he married the other one, whether he didn't marry some of them, I don't know. I do not know, but I do know that they are not from the same mother. Yeah. Regina and Peter, you have to put your house in order. I have been to so many funerals, especially my father's side of the family. If you don't put your affairs right, your funeral will be spectacular. Because you see, my father's people, they are passionate people. Nobody likes to hold a punch. They all punch for blood. If they know a truth, you will hear it. They are not willing to lie for you. For what? No. It will be told as it is. And if somebody has a disagreement with somebody, it will be settled whilst your body is still lying there. Yeah. I've seen so many family members from my dad's side whose funeral has descended into chaos because nobody is willing to let anything go until it's settled. Your body will lie. So you may have smoothed over a lot of things. Gasha, you may have eased things off. People will ease off because of their respect for you, their love for you. People will be considerate of you until you die. The last family funeral I attended, the man himself was so quiet and peaceful, and every one of us respected him so. So many of us were aggrieved in our own ways, but we did not want to upset him. Me, for the last 20 years, I had a relationship with him, but I always went to his workplace. I never went to his home. Turns out many of us were like that. Many of us met him outside his home. Some of the players in his home, they were also confined to the home and did not participate in the interactions that the rest of us had with him. That was up until we walked into the church and his body was lying, waiting for the final rites. That is when you could feel, like I said, in some families, they will all manage to pretend. They will all sit stoically with their straight faces, shooting daggers at each other and not say anything. That's not how my father's people operate. No. No, my father's people will tell you to your face. And so when some members of the family had come, other factions within the family certainly brought their grievances to the fore. They wanted apologies before they would let some people sit. Yeah. They wanted acknowledgements before they would let situations move. When I was a kid, I used to watch them. I'm like, why are these people like that? Why wouldn't they just let this be peaceful? Well, that's the way they do things. And in fact, now that I am older, I've come to respect it. It takes bravado to refuse to pretend, to let things just be, and pretend all is good when it's not. Yeah. And I remember talking to my nephew about it. And my nephew says, even this one too. And I said, yes, no exception. If you don't put your house in order whilst you are alive, this is inevitable. Yeah. This darling family member of mine was a peaceful person. And so he learned to have his relationships with each one of us separately at different locations. And it worked well. But it had not addressed the underlying issue. And so, at the crux, the underlying issue comes back to roost. Everybody was so aggrieved. Everybody had something to say about a particular person and a group of people. Each person was so bitter. And I remember thinking, if he was here to see this, he would have cried. He would have cried. But he was here to see many other people's funerals, so he knew this was coming. He knew this was coming. Mm-hmm. The things that can get... And this particular one was married to one wife only. There was no other women. He was married to one wife only. Even those who are married to one wife only can have... they can have issues to settle. And if they don't settle it, peace does not reign. How much more those of you who want to jump under every skirt? And to bring different women in. You must put your house in order for it to be found in order when you are gone. In all your dealings, work to put your house in order. So that when you are not here, your house would automatically be in order. If you have businesses and you have next of kings, let it be known. Let it be known. Corinne, this whole thing of his 3 sons contesting to select who the church leader is, to me, is asking for trouble. Yeah, is asking for a lot of trouble. Because the contest cannot be clean. The contest is going to bring elements to the fore that are going to be nasty. Because that's what humans do when they are competing. When humans compete, they use anything to their advantage. And especially my people, we don't know how to compete just by becoming the best we can be. We compete by suppressing others. So when this competition kicks off, you would hear a lot of family secrets. They are going to spew. We are going to hear about the apostle and his life in the next few months. It's inevitable. All his deep, dark secrets are going to come out. Benny, I'm doing much better right now. Yeah. We are going to hear his deep, dark secrets. Up until he passed, we didn't know that he had children with different women. Did you know? I didn't know. And now we've heard that he has different factions. Wunderbar. In Zaraman's interview, he said something about... Okay, there have been 2 interviews, so don't quote me. I have listened to Zaraman's interview and I have listened to Bishop Esiama's interview. And so I can't tell you which one is exactly from Bishop Esiama and which one is from the Zaraman, but somewhere between the 2 interviews. I have picked up a lot of things about this family that I did not know before. When you are dead and you're, oh goodness, Ooh. Ooh, I'm burning my house. Ooh. Oh, now it's burnt. My goodness. Ooh. Ooh. Hidayah, how are you doing? Ugh. I decided to cook some nani, so I may make some soup. Oi! Oh, Hidayah, I'm sorry. A lot of people listen to my videos and tell me it upsets them, which I find rather unfortunate, but you know, the truth as I know it. You guys give me a minute, huh? Trying to run down the stairs. It's a bit much. Oof. This truth, I'm telling you. Hopefully you are a young man. Yeah, hopefully you are a young man when you see this video. If you are a young man, it is in your best interest to have one faction in your life. One. Have your children with one woman and stay with that one woman and care for your children and build relationships with your children. The evil that you do will live long after you. So these men, like in the Daddy Lymba case, we haven't heard from the Lymba children. But eventually we will. Oh, we will hear from the Lymba children. They will come for the funeral. We will see the Lymba children. Yeah. Even their absence at the 1 week celebration. Even the absence at the 1 week celebration speaks very loudly. Why will the German children of Daddy Lymba not be in a hurry to fly to Ghana when he passes? Because he abandoned them for years. Yeah, I needed a moment. Pam, I needed a moment. Ima, swift, I wouldn't say. Swift, I would not say. Up until Tuesday. So up until about Monday, I found there was hardness around the wound. I went and they had the dressing removed. Yeah, we found the hardness, and at the time I thought, okay, that will go off. No. By Tuesday, one side of the wound was leaking pus. Some of the hardness was making... Yeah, Hidayah. It's better late than never. hearing some of these things at whatever age will help you at least put some things in order. As I was saying, I hope that those of you who watch this video are young men. I hope that you have your children with one woman, and you don't have your children with one woman and run away. You don't dump the responsibility on one woman and live your best life. Your children will watch you. Your children will see your lack of sacrifice for them, and they will pay you back in your own coin. When you are sick, they'll be too busy to come find you, because when they were young, you were too busy to do nothing. And the women poison the children. No, your own behavior poisons your children. Your children, they have eyes. They can see. They can see. I always tell people, as a little child in my parents' home, I was well aware of everything that happened in the home. There was no hiding nothing from me. I knew the true state of affairs in that home. I did. Yeah. I knew the true state of affairs. Okay, now that I'm here, I might as well be stuck here. Ooh. Let me at least turn some lights on. I have 3 places in this house now that I am stuck at. Hey, yeah. I have trauma. Oh, remnant trauma from this morning. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you so much. Yeah. Have your children with one woman, and care for your children with sincerity. Give them everything you have. Let them see you make sacrifices for them. That is what they will return. Your children will return exactly what you give them. Don't let your children find your woman more interested in their affairs. Don't let your children find you more interested in jumping under people's skirts. Let your children find you a dedicated dad. Let your children know that you will pull from your nose for them, and they will give you back in equal measure at the appropriate time. Care for your children. Be available to your children. That is those of you who have not started this journey. Some of you have already started a skirt and blouse. If you have already started skirt and blouse, then put your house in order. I had surgery last week, and I've just picked an infection in it. So, right now, it's much better than even 6 hours ago. 6 hours ago, I was in this very spot. I had thrown all my clothes out. I had thrown all my clothes out. I could not move. I was nauseous. And I was trying my very best to hold the nausea and not vomit, because I knew vomiting was going to be disastrous for my wound. But eventually, yes, there are some things that are inevitable. Thank you, Pam. Thank you so much. Some things are inevitable. So the vomiting started round about 11 here. Woo! It lasted about 2 hours. Those 2 hours, I wondered. I called my husband. I said to my husband, okay, so I had come downstairs to come lie here with no clothes. I left my clothes upstairs. So I was thinking, okay, this thing and the way it's going, if I need an ambulance, the ambulance crew cannot come and find me like this. So I couldn't even call an ambulance. Hey, I would not allow people to come and see this horrificness. Yeah, after the vomiting, I feel better. A lot of whatever that was is out of my system. But even now, I still have remnants of the nausea. It's still not 100% gone. Yeah. If you are a man and you have already created your skirt and blouse, then go put your house in order 100%. Whilst you are alive, determine who will receive what and let it be known to all the factions. If they are not happy about it, allow them to crucify you. It's your decision. Many Ghanaian men, many black men are cowards. Their will is not known. So they whisper in the children's ears, even when they have created their skirts and blouse. Yes, so Pam, that's what I've had. That is exactly what I've had. And then I have picked the infection alongside it. Girl. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Everybody says drink a lot of water. Yeah. I need to make a conscious effort to drink some. Oh, many men I know will go to child A and tell child A, I will leave the business to you. Then they'll go to child B, I will leave the business to you. They will go to child C, I will leave the business to you, because they are cowards. They do not want to make a decision. Let the children be upset with them and for them to bear the consequences of their choices. They are cowards. So they want to die. And when they are not here, the children will find out that although he said he was leaving the business to each one of them quietly, he only left to another person. You are going to create aggrieved people. Yeah, that's how your will is going to get contested, because you lie. The thing you should do, is to tell your children, hey, yes, so Pam, that thing is for younger women. It should not be for ones with bodies in the state in which mine is. The body itself has its many issues. Expose it to this. The first 4 days afterwards, I was recovering like usual. And here I was telling myself, I always recover from these things very quickly. But the last 4 days have showed me that my body is not the same old body. Whoa. That this body is so vulnerable. I was lying here this morning, sweating profusely in nothing. For about 3 hours, I wanted to get up. For a bathroom break, I couldn't even make it up. Yeah, I could not make it up. I was wiped, completely wiped. If you want to give something to your children, Francisca, let your children know that I'm giving my shoe to Francisca. The sock is going to Dorothy. Yes, I'm going to give the bag to Mami Jesua. And as for Naomi, you annoy me, I'll give you nothing. And make sure that this conversation is had publicly, openly, with all the parties present. Let all your children, let all your wives, let everybody be there. Invite witnesses and observers and say so openly. Say so openly and repeatedly, so that everybody is clear of what your will is before anything happens. It will save you a lot of contention afterwards. Yes, people will be mad at you. People may not serve you the way they would if they thought they were getting something out of you. But at least in your honesty, people will know where they stand. And eventually, that will serve you much better than the cowardly one that most of our men do. Most of our men, they don't tell anybody. They just leave it to assumption. And sometimes they fuel it with simple lies, pure lies. They know that they are not going to leave the company to you, but they want you to labor and secure the company. You are the one who probably has more business knowledge. So guess what? He's going to make you feel that all the work you are doing, trying to stabilize this company, is going to make him leave it to you. And so you will work, only for his will to be read and for you to find that he's left it to somebody else who has done nothing. It will make your children mad. It will make your children mad. They will be upset with you. They will be upset with each other. They will go to war with each other. Very unnecessary. Papa Frema, how you doing? Yeah. Tell the truth. It is what will set you free in the end. Don't lie. It's pointless at the end of the day. You know, so this one, he has put 3 of his sons in contest. I think that is asking for trouble. Competition is not going to be nice, not for anybody. By the end of this process, Sarfo and Akofena are not going to be on good terms. They won't be. Even if the 2 of them have not realized, other people have already started. They are positioning this. So I heard an interview. I can't remember whose interview it was, but the person was saying that, I think it was Zara man. The man had already chosen Ajua to be his successor 20 years ago. But 5 years ago, another boy was being paraded as a CEO. That's confusing. That's confusing. So I am very sure Ajua feels she's entitled to step in. She may not admit it, but it stands to reason. I'm sure Mr. CEO also feels entitled. And even if the 2 of them were hoping to do this in peace, the extended family and the audience will not let them. All these people and their interviews, and it's already started. There is a communique that says don't do business with Akofena. The family will let you know who its representatives are. Who is the family? Ajua is the family. Because at the moment, although he has 3 sons, it's these 2 that are very prominent in the discussion. If you're a young man, don't create the skirt and blouse. Don't create the skirt and blouse. But if you have created the skirt and blouse, be honest and sincere with your parties. And let people show you their disaffection. Let people be mad at you. Be willing to live with the consequences of your choice. Stop being a coward. Don't be a coward. Cool beans. Donna and Dora, how you doing? Mariama, we cannot have a prominent Ghanaian man die and for the circumstances surrounding his death to be peaceful. Well, clarity is needed. Honesty is needed. Pure sincerity is needed by all the factions. Everybody needs to know the exact place they stand with you. And any lying or twisting of the truth would only create a situation when you are gone. And so you see, Daddy Lymba, nobody's talking about his music. He died in July. We spent the whole of August, September, and now October discussing his frolicking with another woman. I would not have known that the Lymba was an infidel. But the minute he passed, the factors that be very quickly let us know that he was an infidel. There's been so much drama over who is going to be playing the role of the spouse. Is it people say that the other woman who's still legally married is estranged or whatever, still legally married? Emmanuel, I am working on it slowly. Baby love, we didn't know that the Lymba was an infidel. But by what happens after your death, we will all know. And J.J. Rollins, we heard there are very few prominent Ghanaian men whose death has not cascaded into chaos. And if you take your time and you go and look at those men, you will find something common in them. They don't have skirt and blouse. They don't. The skirt and blouse, they owe no allegiance to you. So Rollins, for example, there's a girl who says she was an illegitimate daughter. Well, she wasn't a girl, she's a woman. And she was here. She was to the media houses, not looking to preserve her dad's name or whatever. She just wants to be acknowledged. So that the things that can be given to the children, she could also have her share. Then we saw Kimani arrive with another boy who looks exactly identical to him and to his dad, to the funeral, with no explanation. His wife remained stoic the entire time, but there's still quite a lot of things that brew. And when that happens, whatever you did before you died is forgotten. It's the drama which dominates what happens after your demise. Obasima, you will be surprised. There are so many women who forget that at the end of the day, we all have one whole and two round objects. None of us is special. There is nothing special about you. And there is nothing special about me when it comes to men. When a guy is after a woman, it is never for your face. They will make a noise about your backside and your front side and the rest of it. No. At the end of the day, it's a wormhole they want. They want a wormhole. And if they can get you to cook and clean and to take his nonsense, he will like that. I am very sure Lymba would have told this Ghanaian girl, oh, don't worry. When the time comes, I will get the children German passports. I'm sure that conversation would have come up. Oh, don't worry. Everything here is for you. The ones in Germany, they would never come for anything here. Whatever I have here is for you. And it sounds plausible that the German children will not be interested in property in Ghana. However, there was a wife who is Ghanaian. And I'm sure if you ask his wife, she was very interested in covering his shame. I hear she was still buying his medications even when he had abandoned her home and gone to Ghana. It's not that she couldn't tell the BS, but sometimes you want to protect a man's dignity because of the history you have with him. You do. My friend recently got a text message from a girl that her husband has been messing with. And so she calls me and she shares and says, what should I do? And my answer is nothing. She says, what do you mean? This girl is reaching out to you because she is expecting that you are going to be an idiot and you are going to spit your dummy and you're going to do this, throw him out, and she's ready to move him into her home if you throw him out. So you don't do that. She says, well, he's an infidel. I do not want him to come anywhere near my knickers. I'm like, who says you need to be near his knickers? No, you don't need to be near his knickers. You can be loyal to a guy. You can preserve his dignity without being in his knickers. When the girl will be back in touch with you, thank her very much for the information and don't say anything. Viv, of course, the girl comes back. Won't you say anything? And she's like, no, I have nothing to say. Well, the man is mine. I'm going to take the man, blah, 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 blah. And this is what I said to my friend. You and this guy have been going before you were 20. Yes, he has been an absolute idiot. And he deserves everything that comes to him. But you see, one of the things we do for each other is cover each other's shame. The fact that you don't want him, the fact that you don't want him anywhere near your knickers does not need to be public knowledge. You don't even need to divorce him. No, you don't need to divorce him. You don't need to make him homeless. He doesn't need to be homeless. He will be punished enough by the end of your physical relationship with him. You don't need to throw him to the wolves at this particular time. No, at this particular time, you cover his shame. You give him roof for the sake of the history you have had with him. When you mess up, you would expect the same grace, wouldn't you? And she says, yeah, well, extend it. Extend the same grace. And this is the advice a lot of women would have been giving. This would be the reason why, regardless of the fact that he was an infidel and he was doing all the things he was doing with the new woman, the old woman may have chosen to not divorce him, to not expose him, to not embarrass him. Yeah. I saw when she first came for the 1 week observation, I think she was very interested in being quiet. If the family and this woman had not provoked her, she would not have done anything. But the family members, especially the family head, made it very clear at some point where his loyalty stood. And this woman is like, oh, that's how you want to play. All right, let's play. After all, now the man is not here. She has nobody to protect. The truth is already out here. This woman is out here. Everybody has seen it. Well, let's play now. Let's play. I have money for court. We can get injunctions in. Of course we can. When? Some of the characters will provoke you. Even an angel will be at the end of your tether at some point. Anyway, what am I saying to you? Don't create skirt and blouse if you can. Be loyal so that you can receive loyalty in your hour of need. Be faithful so that you can receive fidelity when necessary. 2, if you have already created a skirt and blouse, your only option is to be brutally honest and sincere with everybody. Stop the stupid lies. I've seen a quick WhatsApp message pop up. Amma, why did you call the second woman a gold digger? What else do you want me to call her? I've told you, a spade is a spade. It's not a big spoon. Why will a young woman go after Daddy Lymba? A young woman will go after Daddy Lymba because by his name and his influence, she would assume that he would be financially well positioned. And that if she were able to get rid of his old wife, she and her children would be the recipients of his assets. Is that not the definition of a gold digger? One who wants to reap where they have not sown. That's a gold digger. A man like Daddy Lymba will not attract a woman like me at all. A woman like me who's not looking for property from anybody. who is not looking for money from anybody will look at a man who's already married and has abandoned his wife in Germany and wanting to come and live with me somewhere. And I'm thinking he couldn't be faithful and loyal to his legally married wife. Where will I stand? But those who are busy digging will not even have time to think about that. Yeah, Getty. We get in our feelings. That's why sometimes the logic doesn't logic. Like you go into town, you meet my husband now, and he tells you he will give you this and he will give you this. You have 5 children for him, don't worry. And wait for me. Whilst he is here, I will cover him. I will protect him. Yeah. He's the guy I have spent my youth with. And that brings a lot of loyalty. Oh, I will not embarrass him. I will not expose him. You wait for me. When the time comes, you will see that you will get nothing. Because you have worked for nothing. You deserve nothing. Her children are already grown. Why would she give you the proceeds of her work? Where does she know you from? Me, for example, I have toiled with this guy to purchase everything we own. And you want me to give my entitlement to whom? For what? No. Her children are not my problem. If the mother and the father who sired these kids do not want to be responsible for their kids, waiting concern amamansin with those children. The only children I'm responsible for are the 2 that I own. I've done my best for those 2. I'm done. And have mercy. No, there will be no mercy. Because this woman never had any mercy for me in mind. There will be no mercy. Don't put yourself in those situations. Because if this Akosia Sewa woman wants to be clinical, by the time she is done, this Odobroni woman will not have a place to even stay with her 5 children. Will have nowhere to stay. And even if they manage to squeeze some of the property, it will be a fraction of a place, maybe a house over their head, a roof over their head. So they are not homeless. But it will be the woman's job to go and work to care for her children. It will not be my job to care for nobody's children. So my friend told another friend of ours the advice I gave. And she's like, why did you give that advice? I'm like, I gave that advice because we are preserving dignity. That's what we are doing. Preserving his dignity and yours alongside. That's why you don't go and embarrass him. That's why you don't go into social media like a child and throw your dummy. Your husband has been an idiot, I know. You should call him out in your private moments and tell him how stupid he has been. And when you finish, you tell him, for the sake of what the 2 of you have been through, you will stand by him and offer him some covering. But let him not mistake that for anything else. The direction in which your relationship is going to move. Francis, thank you. Thank you so, so much. When he's there frolicking with little children, no, you don't want him anywhere in your pants. He will bring you illnesses. So no. But the fact that he's not in your pants doesn't mean that you embarrass him. Doesn't mean that you expose him. That you throw him to the curb. No, you don't. Nah, too much history there. When we finished chatting, my friend says, when did you become so wise? Like, I don't know. I think I'm old finally. Yeah, Asa. When did you become so wise? The younger me will certainly not have given this advice. The angry me. Oh, The angry me would not have given this advice, that's for sure. Frankie May, how you doing? But yeah, mature women make very mature decisions around their spouses, especially the spouses of their youth. You weather storms together. When you've been with somebody 20 years and more, no matter who the person is, they would have stood for you sometime. They would have done some things for you. You would have stood in some ground zeros with them. That counts for some protection. It does. That counts for some protection. That counts for some covering. And that's why women like that protect their infidels. Her relationship with Lymba was done. I don't think they had a sexual relationship for years. Somebody says 13 years. Yeah, I don't struggle to believe that. But she would not have divorced him to embarrass him. No. She would have remained in order not to expose him. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, you are the bomb. You have kept me company. You have allowed me to interact with humans. There is something very strange about the human mind and its need to connect with other humans. Yesterday, I was too ill to have a conversation on any of the channels. And up to this point today. And I have been so lonely, so alone. My husband goes to work. And yeah, he should. There's no reason why he should sit here and watch me. But I cannot tell you how great it feels when I have brought you guys and I had this conversation with you. Yesterday, when he opened the door, I was like, okay, no, yesterday he picked me up from the hospital. The day before, when he opened the door, I was like a little kid whose dad had come home. Daddy! Ah! 2 hours before he finished, I was clock watching. When is he coming? When is he coming? You see, you guys have saved me from the when is he coming thing. Ooh. Yeah. I pray that those of you like me who need healing find it. I pray that your bodies receive the fortification to fight and to do what bodies do in order to make recovery happen. No, Gifty, not yet. Not yet. Amen. Amen, Anaya. Thank you, Pam. Not yet. So he started me on a generalistic type of antibiotic yesterday. So I am on antibiotics. But my goodness, by Jove, whatever that is in my system is not welcome in my system. I hope the vomiting was a one-off because I cannot sustain another episode of vomiting. Can you imagine? Oof. Oh, that was horrific. Absolutely horrific. Anyway, we have these conversations not because we just want to gossip. I don't want this to be a gossip. I want this to be conscientization for you. I want those of you who've got fire on your mountains to know that you've got fires coming. And I want you to have clear strategies to deal with your fires. Those of you who haven't started building fires, don't build them. Fighting the fires is a full-time job. Yeah. And Pam, I love Tenuvi. It's just beautiful. Thank you, Sister Mabel. Thank you so, so much. Belinda. Yeah. I'm going to go. Because my energy levels can only sustain a certain amount of conversation, and then I will need to fall asleep like a little baby. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, God willing. Olabisi, how are you doing?